What it does is it chills Harvard, it chills students from applying there, it chills all the programs that have been cut, all the funding and the grants that have been cut. So in some sense, even as we wait for this maybe someday clash with the court, what we're seeing on the ground is uncertainty and chilling and fear, and that is a W for the administration.
You know, what's interesting is the battles that the Trump administration has been choosing to fight. They're choosing to fight already weakened institutions. You know, elite universities. Most Americans don't go to elite universities, go to college. And so there's not a lot of goodwill toward Harvard. People aren't feeling bad for Harvard, generally speaking. Going after media institutions, Donald Trump has spent, and Republicans have spent decades going after the media. Well, who likes us anyways? It's easy to go after us. Right. You know, go after immigrants, you know, a marginalized group. It's easy to demonize them. He's picking battles that are, there's fertile ground for him.
I have a different take. I think this is a stupid fight for him to take.
Tell me why.
He's taking on the smartest, the most connected, the richest people in America.
Are you saying that the media is not the smartest?
If you had to ask everybody, where are the smart, most connected, most powerful people? It's Washington and Harvard, right? Harvard is one of the great American iconic brands. You know, recently he attacked Apple. In the past, he attacked the NFL. I mean, this might be a short-term benefit for him politically, but Harvard has become a rally point for the connected people who want to oppose Trump, for former presidents, for the entire Ivy League, for all of academia. And I think if we looked across the landscape and said, who's going to be the lead element, the rally point to fight back against Trump, we probably wouldn't have picked Harvard. But I think over time, Harvard will be formidable, and it's not a smart fight for him to pick in the long term.
No, we'll see. All right, Paul Rakoff, you're sticking around to go anywhere. Dahlia Lithwick and Michael Bender, thank you very much. Still ahead, what has American vets so upset about something the president just did? In Donald Trump's new travel ban, he included Afghanistan. And while the new restrictions make exceptions for Afghans with special immigrant visas, a classification granted to people who work closely with the U.S. during 2 decades of war against the Taliban, it still leaves many former allies and their families on the outside looking in. The news is a double blow to the nearly 200,000 Afghan refugees who have come to the U.S. since 2021, along with their advocates. As the Department of Homeland Security's termination of the country's temporary protected status is set to take effect next month. Paul Rakoff is back with us. All right, so when you end TPS, that means you believe the country is safe to go back to, which means those 200,000 could be sent home. You couple that with the travel ban. Are you confident that this special exception is going to make it so that everybody who helped us, help people like you, get back here?
No. This is a extension of the great American betrayal of Afghanistan. He just continues to compound it, drive the knife in deeper and twist it. I mean, recently, Kristi Noem said she thought Afghanistan was safe, right? That's a great fallacy from her and one of the more recent ones. But it just deepens the betrayal and the abandonment of the entire nation of Afghanistan, of our allies around the world, of anybody who wants to step forward and help us in the future. And, you know, Trump talked a lot about bashing on Biden for the way that we left Afghanistan. He said he was going to make it right. He wasn't going to do that. So this is really a deepening of a betrayal that's now extended to multiple presidencies. And these people are just left to die. I mean, it's like Gilead over there. Women have no rights. You know, the Taliban is firmly in control. And the normalizing of Afghanistan, I think, is really troubling, because this is not a safe place. They are not good leaders there. And we've got hundreds of thousands of people who put their lives on the line to defend guys like me. And now Trump is not just hanging them out to dry. He's slamming the door and pushing them out to the wolves.
You know, I had Matt Zeller on last hour, former CIA officer and U.S. Army combat veteran, and he said that, you know, his interpreter personally saved his life. Personally saved his life and other people's lives as well. He described the moment. And he said that he believes, because he had a meeting with Stephen Miller, he believes that Stephen Miller sees people like the guy who saved his life, the interpreter, the Afghan, as extremists, Muslim extremists that don't have any place in this country.
Well, if you treat them like this, they will turn into extremists, that's for sure. I mean, this is not going to help our standing in places where we want to convince people to come on our side. Matt Zeller's an American hero, but a tremendous advocate. And there's been an entire underground railroad of veterans and allies in this country who've been trying to get people out since before the fall. And that continues now. And they've stood up families here. They're trying to start lives. They're joining our military. And to treat them this way is just a deep betrayal of our values, but it's also really bad for our national security. Who's ever going to stand up with Americans again?
Well, is it going to put American soldiers overseas at risk?
Absolutely. Think about the average, Afghan, if there's a war, says, hey, maybe I'll help this American and maybe I'll be able to go back to America, or maybe I'll be kept safe, or I'll stand with the enemies and just blow them up. That's what, especially young men who were trying to convince not to go to the other side. I saw that in Iraq. We saw it especially in the Middle East. We need those people on our side, and we need carrots and sticks. And this sends them off to die.
What is the point of this stuff? I mean, if it's not making us safer, why do they keep doing it?
I can't explain why they do this, but I know it's bad. It's bad for our national security. It's bad for the soul of America. And it's also a moral betrayal for veterans. American veterans are taking this very hard. So it's not just an insult to the Afghan people and to our alliances. It's a direct insult to all American veterans who served post 9/11.
Paul Rakoff, thank you so much for joining us.